Queen Elizabeth was a life well lived, a promise with destiny kept, and she is mourned most deeply in her passing.
That promise of lifelong service I renew to you all today after years of silence. King Charles has finally broken his silence on his turbulent marriage to Princess Diana. The 76-year-old monarch has shared insights into his relationship with the late princess, revealing more about their troubled union than anyone expected. His statements have sent shockwaves through royal circles and the public, raising questions that challenge everything we thought we knew. So what exactly did the king reveal, and why now? Join us as we take a deep dive into the revelations shared. King Charles's shocking revelation. For years, King Charles maintained a dignified silence concerning his past with his deceased ex-wife Princess Diana. The world was familiar with the headlines, their fairy-tale wedding, the unraveling of their marriage, and the scandals that ensued. Yet, behind the royal protocols and formal smiles, there were truths that remained unspoken. The marriage between Diana and Charles, which lasted for around 15 years, was plagued by rumors of infidelity. As details emerged in the news, it caused a PR disaster for the royal family and threatened the stability of the monarchy. Unfortunately, after their divorce was finalized in August 1996, Diana tragically died in a car crash a year later in Paris, along with her boyfriend at the time, Dodi Fayed. It was one of the most thoroughly investigated car crashes ever, especially considering the status of Princess Diana and her companion. Now at 76, Charles is reportedly confronting the weight of his past decisions, acknowledging truths he once refused to discuss. According to insiders, the burden of his past choices has become impossible to ignore. The king's recent decisions have raised many questions in the media. While some believe his advancing age has led him to reflect on the legacy he will leave behind, others speculate that recent events in the royal family, including challenges faced by Prince William and Kate Middleton, have forced him to confront painful memories. For years, King Charles was portrayed as the man who let Princess Diana down. After her unfortunate demise, he tried to move forward by focusing on his reign, his responsibilities, and his family. But the past has a way of resurfacing and resurrecting. Because King Charles had remained silent for so long, the way he is addressing it now has left many stunned. Many believe that King Charles abandoned Princess Diana for Camilla, who had been his longtime lover. This act was regarded as disgraceful by both the public and the media, who adored Princess Diana. Over the years, King Charles has been attempting to change this narrative and shift public perception. What exactly is he admitting, and how will it affect his legacy? Throughout his life, the truth is more surprising than many might think. King Charles, who was once the Prince of Wales, was trained to prioritize duty above all else. As a royal, each step he took was carefully measured and controlled by his ethics. Yet, no matter how much time passed, his public image remained deeply tied to one event, his marriage to Princess Diana Spencer. Despite ascending the throne on the 6th of May 2023 after his mother's passing, the public perception of Charles never fully shifted. The public made it clear that while he may wear the crown, the shadow of the past still lingered. Recently, the king, in a rare vulnerable moment, confessed stunning secrets and sins in what appeared to be an act of seeking forgiveness. According to insiders, one of these confessions concerned the suspicious death of his ex-wife and the mother of his two sons. Charles reportedly believes he has blood on his hands by sabotaging their marriage through his adulterous affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, his current wife and queen. The insider shared that although Charles refuses to take outright responsibility for Diana's death, he acknowledges how unhappy he made her by carrying on with Camilla for years, an unhappiness that eventually led Diana into the arms of Dodi Fayed and sealed her fate. The King's Tell-All Journal, a royal habit Charles had. Picked from the late Queen Elizabeth, a source was cited for the information. While the release of the alleged journals is still up for debate, palace sources have verified the report. According to royal aides, Charles has become more introspective in recent years. He has taken to speaking privately about the choices he made and how they shaped his reputation. An insider described it as a personal reckoning. Charles reportedly acknowledges that his rigid adherence to royal tradition contributed to the downfall of his first marriage with Princess Diana. It seems the idea that he was simply doing what was expected of him no longer serves as enough of an explanation. The king has realized that no matter how many speeches he gives or policies he makes, many will always remember him as the man who was married to Diana, and now, for the first time, it seems Charles is grappling with what that truly means for him. Although the world was shocked to see Charles come out and acknowledge how he had failed Princess Diana, the next revelation was even more surprising. After King Charles had spoken publicly about the troubles in his marriage with his first wife, royal expert Jane Moore, in a recent interview, also provided insights into their troubled union. Moore recalled a long period when Charles and Diana were still married, particularly towards the end, when it became clear that there were difficulties. The expert revealed that Diana was described as moody and temperamental. According to Moore, her unpredictable temperament created challenges for Charles, who was 12 years her senior. Their marriage, which began in 1981 when Diana was only 20, faced continuous difficulties, including Charles's enduring affection for Camilla Parker Bowles and the relentless pressures of royal life. Despite Diana's initial feelings of overwhelming love for Charles, their union ended in separation in 1992 and divorce in 1996. Following the divorce, Diana reflected on her belief that Charles did love her at first but acknowledged that it had been an arranged marriage lacking a proper courtship period. The couple had 2 sons before Diana's untimely death in 1997. However, this was not all. A father's candid advice to his son was one of the most surprising revelations. In recent years, Charles has been giving his eldest son, Prince William, a very specific warning: don't make the mistakes that I made. Royal author Ingrid Seward detailed how the reigning monarch has been supportive of the Prince and Princess of Wales. According to Seward, Charles advised William to avoid repeating his own mistakes, especially the neglect of his marriage due to an overwhelming sense of duty. Charles reportedly told William, "Look, William, there's nothing more important than your family. Don't make the mistakes that I made. I just did duty, duty, duty. I neglected my marriage, and look what happened." These revelations reflect a significant shift in Charles's perspective, highlighting the importance of balancing royal obligations with personal relationships. It serves as a powerful reminder that being a good king begins with being a good husband and father. William and Kate have long been viewed as the future of the monarchy, a perfect example of a couple who balance royal duty with a strong family bond. However, recent reports in the media suggest that even their marriage has faced pressures behind closed doors. Charles, having lived through similar struggles, has taken notice. Sources close to the royal family claimed that after observing the toll royal life has taken on William and Kate Middleton, King Charles felt compelled to speak out. He reportedly told William that no duty and no sense of royal obligation is more important than family. It was a striking message from a man who, for years, was known for putting responsibility before relationships. But perhaps that is exactly why his words now carry so much weight, because he has lived through the consequences of letting tradition dictate his personal life. It appears King Charles is now determined that his son will not repeat history. For William, the warning is clear: his father's regrets serve as a reminder that being a good king starts with being a good husband and father. While Charles is working to guide William, his relationship with Harry remains a different story. Insiders suggest that Charles's regrets about Diana extend beyond their marriage; they also apply to his relationship with his younger son. Some believe that the emotional distance Charles maintained over the years resulted in Harry's decision to step away from the royal family. Diana was known for her deep connection with her sons, and many see Harry as the one who inherited his mother's emotional openness. Unlike William, who embraced duty, Harry rejected it, choosing instead to carve out his own path. This has led to a complicated relationship between father and son. Whether Charles can mend this strained relationship remains uncertain. The story of Princess Diana and Charles, even years after her death, continues to define royal history. Diana was beloved for her kindness, openness, and her ability to connect with people in a way no royal had before. In contrast, Charles has struggled to escape the image of the distant husband, and even now as king, he cannot outrun Diana's legacy. Princess Diana's marriage to King Charles was a highly publicized and ultimately tragic union. They married in 1981 in a lavish royal wedding watched by millions worldwide. However, their relationship was troubled from the start. Diana was only 20, while Charles was 32 and still deeply attached to his longtime love, Camilla Parker Bowles. Throughout their marriage, Diana struggled with the feeling of being isolated. She also endured intense media scrutiny and Charles's unfaithful relationship with Camilla. Despite having two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, their marriage fell apart, eventually leading to a formal separation in 1992 and a divorce in 1996. Diana later spoke openly about the struggles they had in their marriage, famously stating, "There were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Her death in 1997 only deepened public sympathy for her and cemented her legacy as the people's princess, while Charles continued to face criticism for his role in the failed marriage. But that was not all. Charles went on to marry Camilla, confirming his role as an unfaithful and distant husband to the late Diana. The public's memory of her remains deeply ingrained, and comparisons are inevitable. Charles's recent reflections are seen by some as an attempt to acknowledge the role he played in their marriage struggles, but others question whether his words are enough to make up for how much Diana suffered. Insiders revealed that Charles is well aware of how history views him. He knows that no matter what he says or does, Diana's influence will always be stronger than his in the hearts of many. That realization, they revealed, has weighed on him more than people can imagine. This has led to his efforts to redefine his legacy. Charles's efforts may be genuine, but the question remains, can public opinion ever shift, or will he forever be seen through the lens of the past? Even though his efforts may be sincere, one thing is certain, Diana's presence is still felt, even in a world she is no longer part of. One of the surprising moments in King Charles's time with Diana came after the news of her death was announced. After the princess's death in 1997, many expected Charles to be unconcerned, but his reaction was quite unexpected. Charles was devastated beyond words. He grieved Princess Diana more than anyone else, an act that surprised many. Furthermore, it seems that his grief is an emotion that stood the test of time. Charles's raw emotions over Princess Diana's death were revealed in a newly discovered secret handwritten letter. The 3-page letter, written by the then prince, revealed his deep feelings of unbearable emptiness after the death of the mother of his children in 1997. It has been 27 years since Diana's death, but a newly revealed letter from King Charles III, just 4 months after her passing, felt just as raw as the day she died. In the 1997 letter, the king commiserates with a friend, Peter, about the passing of dear Liz to illness and that his heart bleeds for his friend's loss. Charles furthermore empathized with Peter's agony, confessing that he longed to wave a magic wand to transform the situation and be rid of the bewilderment and confusion that accompanies the removal of someone so young from the world. But something shocking lay underneath his grief. The accusations against Charles started after Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris on the 31st of August 1997. Charles flew to Paris with Diana's sisters to accompany her body back to Britain. In 2003, Diana's butler, Paul Burrell, published a note that he claimed had been written by Diana in 1995, in which she alleged that Charles was planning an accident in her car, brake failure and serious head injury, so that he could remarry. When questioned by the Metropolitan Police Inquiry Team as part of Operation Paget, Charles told the authorities that he did not know about his former wife's note from 1995 and could not understand why she had those feelings. Charles's deep grief and talks of guilt might be meant to show that he did indeed have regrets toward Princess Diana. However, many people still criticize him for marrying Camilla, and even more believe he might have actually been behind his young, estranged wife's death. Whether his recent revelations come from guilt or from a place of change remains unclear. The truth might be more than we know. Camilla's role in Charles's journey is undeniable. If there is one person who has been at the center of this entire saga, it is her. So many mentions have been made. Who is Camilla? What was her role in the downfall of Charles's marriage to Princess Diana? Stay with us as we uncover more details about this woman, Camilla, who was once considered the most controversial figure in Charles's life. Camilla is now the Queen Consort, but her presence in the monarchy is still met with mixed reactions. King Charles and Queen Camilla famously had an affair during his marriage to Princess Diana and wed in 2005. In May 2023, the couple was officially crowned King and Queen Consort. Known previously as Prince Charles and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, until Queen Elizabeth's death on September 8, 2022, the couple had hit it off as soon as they met in 1970. However, their relationship didn't last at the time, and they moved on to marry others. Charles famously wed Princess Diana, while Camilla tied the knot with Andrew Parker Bowles. The pair eventually reunited romantically amid a flurry of royal scandal, including leaked audio recordings of some of their intimate pillow talk during their affair. Shockingly enough, that wasn't all. With the publication of Andrew Morton's Diana, Her True Story in 1992, Camilla's private world was upended. She was stalked by the press, taunted with hate mail, and dismissed as ugly when compared to the beautiful Princess Diana. Charles and Camilla each divorced their spouses and laid low. A year after Princess Diana's tragic passing in 1997, Charles and Camilla appeared publicly as a couple. They wed in April 2005, and Camilla received the title of Duchess of Cornwall following their union. After Queen Elizabeth died, Charles became King Charles and bestowed the title of Queen Consort upon his wife. On May 6, 2023, King Charles and Queen Camilla were officially crowned during a joint coronation ceremony at Westminster Abbey. Following the ceremony, Charles and Camilla made their Buckingham Palace balcony debut as monarch and queen consort. Various sources claim that Camilla has played a significant role in Charles's recent introspection. The Queen reportedly encourages him to be more open about his past, but whether that is helping or hurting his image remains to be seen. However, the debate over Camilla's influence is far from over. Although she has constantly been compared to Princess Diana, labeled ugly, and hated by the media, many people who've met the Queen Consort describe her as breezy, warm, welcoming, and friendly. While some believe she has been Charles's greatest support, helping him find his voice in a way he never could before, others argue that her involvement in his past remains a sore spot for many, making it difficult for people to embrace this new chapter. Regardless of what the truth may be, Camilla's presence changes the conversation each time Charles speaks about Diana. People inevitably wonder how Camilla fits into the story. Can the public truly separate the past from the present, or will the love triangle that defined an era continue to shape how Charles is perceived? Unlike Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled with an era of mystery and unwavering discipline, King Charles is embracing a new kind of monarchy, one where transparency and emotional honesty matter more than ever. But the question remains, can he truly redefine his legacy, or is it too late? For years, the British monarchy operated under the idea that silence was power. Royals rarely addressed personal matters, and when they did, it was through carefully crafted statements. But Charles has proven to be different. Known for giving his opinions on issues, Charles seems to be deviating from this tradition. His recent confessions, whether subtle or explicit, suggest that he is aware of how history views him and that he wants to take control of the narrative before it becomes words written in stone. Yet, as always, there is a fine line between reflection and revision. Many believe his willingness to discuss the past is a calculated attempt to earn public sympathy, while others see it as a genuine sign of growth. After all, Charles spent his entire life bound by duty, and the idea that he is now prioritizing family over tradition is a shift that few expected. As King Charles continues to open up, one major question lingers: is it too late for the public to see him differently? To some, his admissions of regret are a step in the right direction, indicating a man who has learned from his mistakes and is trying to make amends. To others, it's not enough, the past cannot be rewritten, and for many, Charles will always be defined by what happened with Diana. So, what do you think? Is King Charles just trying to gain pity? Do you believe it's too late to change his public image? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more, and be sure to click on the following videos shown on your screen. You'll enjoy it.